going to show you how to make your own homemade steamer. You only need 3 things: a camping tent, a steam gun, and an inflatable chair. You can find that stuff at the local hardware store. I bought mine at Bunnings, which is at Home Depot in Australia. After you set it all up, it should look something like that.
Good idea. Let's give it a try. First, we need to change locations. And I'm going to put it right over there once I get that cleaned up. Here we are in the garage. So let's clean that up and move on to the next part. Add 1 tent, steamer, and seating. Now let's try it out. There we go. That's better. So the steamer's been going for 10 minutes inside this tent. I believe it's 1 or possibly a 2-man tent. And I got a thermometer here. Right now the temperature is 10 degrees Celsius or about 50 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know if you'll be able to, there it is, you can see it. So we'll go in for 10 minutes and see what it comes up to be. So I'll just put you over here. You just stay right there. And I'll be back in 10 minutes. Oh yeah, it's steamy. Yeah, dee 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 dee, yeah dee 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 dee, yeah da da dee dee, yeah dee 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 dee, yeah dee 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 dee. Floor is cold. Of course, it's the garage. The floor is not heated. And I can see at the bottom of the door flap there, it's open a little bit. So there is some cool air coming in. I'll have to figure out how to close this up better. Stop the breeze coming in. If I go on my map and just stay on here, it's a couple inches off the ground. This certainly has potential, and I got some ideas already happening where I can improve on it a little later as far as keeping the cold air out. So the thermometer, I'm just holding it halfway between the floor and the ceiling, and we'll just see what kind of a read we get here. It is going up. Yada dee da dee da dee dee, yada dee da dee dee dee, dee 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 dee, yada dee 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 dee. About 10 minutes. Whew. It's a little warm. What are we at here? We got, we're up at 80. Where is it? Here. About 80, and now it's dropping. I can even see it dropping as we go here. So the upper level, this is in mid-range. I'm losing a lot of heat through the floor. This is slab floor and it's not heated. So a lot of the heat is going out through the floor, and there's moisture condensing on the inside of the tent on the floor. So it'd be probably better if I could get a some kind of a platform underneath. Of course, if this was outside in the sun, it would be a lot hotter. Idea for me anyways, I like to have the sweat come heat fast instead of slowly, gradually build up. I'm used to more of the sweat lodges. And some of you seen the frame of the sweat lodge that I had out in my yard, which I dismantled and is actually up there. Excuse me. I'm also losing quite a lot of heat at the bottom of the door because it doesn't seal. Where is it? Yeah, it's at the bottom of the door here. It just sits, the flap just sits over. There is no zipper on the underside here. This is a zipper for the screen. So I could close this off better, then it would probably keep more heat in. As far as sweating, not yet. And that was just 10 minutes. So, more experimenting. I'm just checking my little timer here. 36. So the steamer's been running about 20 minutes. But with that, there's a technical word for the losing the heat, thermo something or other. So if I can minimize that, then it should be even that much better. But I do see this as very promising. I'll keep you posted. Okay, went in for another 20 minutes. Although the magic path, excuse me. There we go. This time I had the thermometer about ½ inch off the floor, and it was at almost 20 degrees Celsius. So this will require a little more investigation. I'll just give you a look inside here. There is steam. You can see steam in there. Let's put my monitor around here. There's some steam in there. Certainly the closer you go to the floor, the less it gets. And all the water condensation. So, I'm thinking in my case, so if I could get it up off the floor, maybe that'll help. So we'll try that next. Alrighty, we're back. This will be test number 2. The modifications are hotter in the garage heater room, and I put there it is, some carpeting underneath the tent to insulate to the floor. So the internal room temperature is just over 60 degrees Fahrenheit. I catch that there. Just over 60 degrees. And here we go, test number 2. Oh yeah, it's lots hotter. Well, that's 15 minutes. Let's see, what are we at? We're running at 10, 15, 20, 25, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 92 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm just going to stay with my back end in here. Put this on so I can see you. So, where is it? Oops. So we're running at 93, about 93 degrees in the mid-range, holding it upright like this. I could show you. As it's dropping, it's already down to almost 80. Trust me, it was there. In my situation, I still get some leaking coming in underneath the outer flap. So all I got is screens here. And so I think if I take some Velcro, put Velcro across the bottom, then that will really solve the problem quite easily. Okay, here's another try. We've got the steamer running again. I put it in there and let it run for about 20 minutes. This time we got some coverings over top of the tent. These are basically travel pads that you pick up at, these ones I got at the local U-Haul store. And they use them for packing, shipping stuff so your things don't jostle around and break. So the garage is running at 10, just above 10 Celsius. And so I go in, check it out. I did a pre-test, but I didn't have one on the front where the door is. That's where a lot of the cold air comes in through. And it did get up to 100 degrees Celsius. Sorry, 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So we'll give this another whirl and see how it goes. I'm back in a bit. The last and final, this shall be the last and final test. I'm going to try and get the thermometer out to you, to view, and we're above 10 degrees Celsius. Come on, where is it? Where is it? It's like 90 of 90. Can't see with my glasses, not. There it is. Woo! Okie dokie. That's enough for today. Oh. Sorry all the grunting and groaning. I need a bigger mat. Okay, so I have to catch my breath here. Say what I think. Wet. So Matthew from, what is it? What's your place name? Triponic. So Matthew from Triponic Productions. Yeah, pretty good idea here. So from my experience and my findings so far, excuse me, the DIY home sauna, no, the DIY home steam room works. 2 thumbs up. Now, in my case, I had to make a few adjustments, as you have seen. I needed to insulate the bottom of the tent from the floor so that it would stay warm. I've had some covers, shipping blankets that I had sitting around here that I used for my sweat lodge when I had the sweat lodge saunas. The sweat lodge ceremonies that I did myself here. And I'll talk more about those later on in other videos in my psychic experience or the dimensional existence or DE series. But right now that one is not pertaining to this, except that these blankets I used. The tent, I would recommend a person get a tent that has insulating value to keep the heat in. This one here is got to be at least 20 years old, and it probably basically doesn't have any insulating value. And as you see earlier in the videos, the top up there, part of it is screened in, and the flap along the bottom here doesn't seal either. So I got like cold air bursting in and cooling down the inside temperature. What I do is, this time I came in when I first started the steam gun, and it took a lot longer to warm up. Normally what I do is I just put it in and let it run about 15 minutes first before I get in, and then get in as quickly as I can, close the door fast so I don't let all that steam heat out. I also suggest you go over, and it should be about there, and look in the description area, because I'll paste anything in there or put anything in there that I think of when I'm editing this video, because usually when I do a video I end up thinking of something else, and by that time it's already done, and so I just leave it out or add it into the description area. The steam gun, Home Depot. here in Canada. And the steam gun was in the wallpaper section for removing wallpaper. Now it does have a timer in it, a safety mechanism, so if it boils dry it will automatically shut off, but don't depend on that. Get yourself a little timer. This is what I've been using. It's actually, you put pills in there if you take pills. I happened to get it at one of my pharmacy stores. I forget where. This was, probably 10 years ago, 8 years ago now. And I just set the time, and then I don't have to worry about the machine running out of water. The hose will get hot. Here's the hose. So make sure that it's not sitting on anything valuable that could get damaged with heat. The book for the steam gun says the steam comes out at, I think it was 200 degrees Fahrenheit, I think. So make sure you take the end and tie it onto your bucket somehow, as you've seen in Matthew's video. Maybe what I'll do is I'll show you. Let's see. Can I get it out? Show you what I did. So what I did is I just had a piece of wire in the garage, and I just wired it all together so that if I happen to hit the bucket or hit the hose, it's not going to fall over, because you don't want this thing pointing at you. It could really, really burn you badly. So this way it's secure and over top of the bucket. The lighting might not be as good. So it's over the bucket here, and it does spritz. It does spit a little bit of water. That's the condensation building up in the pipe that's forced out with the pressure from the steam that's coming out. So you will need a bucket underneath. Your tent floor should be no holes at all. If you do this in the house, put it on, I would suggest you put it like on a linoleum, and make sure that the floor of your tent is absolutely sealed tight, because moisture does build up and condensation builds up, and there's actually water on the bottom of my floor there in puddles every so often. I'm going to have to mop it out afterwards. If you put covers on, like I have here, this is not as good of an idea because it's right up against the outside of the tent. And I don't know if the moisture is actually bleeding through and into the blanket. So you may want to put a piece of plastic, cover the tent in plastic first, then put your blankets on. Be careful of how much weight you're putting on your tent. You don't want it collapsing down on you. For me, it's cold. The garage was cold the first time, as you saw there in the video. So that's why the temperature wasn't as high as it could be. You don't need a thermometer. I just bought one for this testing. It's a Springfield thermometer, and it's both for indoors and outside. And I think it's only for summertime. I don't think it's for the winter time. Can't remember on that one. Lots of water. Drink water before. Like, start drinking water 20 minutes before, and make sure you have a lot of water, because you will sweat. And if you can get the setup done so that your steam your tent stays hot, not the tent, the inside of the air stays hot and contains the steam. I will get quite hot in there. I was actually sweating. Oh, what else? What else? Once you get everything all set up, having a steam would be just a real snap, and will take nothing at all. So again, check over there in the description area for anything else that I may have forgotten to say. I'll type it in there. What I'm going to do, I was thinking while I was in the steam room there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to the next level. So watch for my future videos, and I'll show you the progress and where I'm going to take this. So please subscribe and stay tuned.